everyone. It's Erin Sorensen with Hail Varsity, and I am joined by Greg Smith, our recruiting analyst at Hail Varsity. Greg, how are you?
I am very well, but cold.
It
um,
is very
I,
cold in Nebraska.
I have so many layers on right now. Like I never warmed up from this morning when I walked the dog briefly. So yeah,
I understand that. I think a lot of our followers get that as well. So wherever you are, hopefully, if it is warmer than here, we don't want to talk about it. But for those of you who are joining us, this is a brand new series. Actually, we were sort of inspired by you. A lot of you tuned in for our recruiting video last week on the sort of end of the 2021 recruiting cycle. It wasn't really too much of a big day for Nebraska, but you all had some questions. So we thought, why not answer some of those questions that you have every week? Monday, we will have a video, and then Greg is going to circle back on those in his notebook. So a lot of opportunities for you to ask questions about recruiting, get Greg's insight. He is the recruiting expert. So Greg, are you ready to answer this first question?
I am ready for the first one.
Oh, perfect. All right. So this came from Mike Schneider. He's at Coach Schneid28 on Twitter. So thank you to Mike. But he asked Greg, do you see a specific position as an area of focus for the 2022 class? 2022. That was a lot of twos. I
Yeah.
liked your thoughts on the Hail Varsity YouTube video about recruiting more local, which again, if you haven't watched that, go back. You can also watch that video right here on this channel. But he wanted to know because he has seen a change of the strategy with the pandemic. So Greg, do you see a specific position as the area of focus for Nebraska's 2022 class?
Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna actually. Well, I'll give the one that is. It feels like is always the default answer, and that's outside linebacker. Like I feel like we talk about this position every year. It is kind of become like we. I can always default to talking about quarterback on offense because that's always a position of need, and just the way that Nebraska and Scott Frost and Mario Verduzco like to recruit a quarterback every year. That's always a thing when you run a 3-4 defense, as Eric Chinander does, even though he himself would tell you that it's multiple, but it's a base 3-4, you need outside linebackers and guys that are good and versatile and can both stop the run and get after the passer. Nebraska has been getting better over these last couple of years at stopping the run at a better rate than they've been improving at getting after the quarterback. So once again, outside linebacker that is more of a hybrid that can do both, get after the quarterback and stop the run, is going to be at a premium as it is every year. The caveat with that, though, is that everyone is looking for that. Whether or not that you run a 3-4 defense or you run a 4-3 and you want that guy to put his hand in the dirt and play that defensive end, like everyone is looking for that guy that can do that. And then a lot of your kind of elite 3-4 defenses out there have just been at this longer and have more kind of proof in the pudding, so to speak, than Nebraska does at getting these guys into the program and developing them. And I think the first one that you really have to start with is outside linebacker.
Are there any names that are immediately on that list for you? If you
Wow.
don't want to answer, that's fine. I'm just curious.
No, it's fine. We can answer, but my brain has started to shift to like knowing these names off the top of my head, even though it's early February. There are two actually. What's interesting, there's a few locally actually is where I want to start. Starting in the state, Devin Jackson, linebacker from Omaha Burke, who is rated as one of the top outside linebackers in the entire country. I think he could play either inside or outside, but Nebraska will be after him. It's going to be tough. But then there's also Columbus outside linebacker from right here in Nebraska, Ernest Hausman, who Nebraska is recruiting really hard. There's Caden Crawford, who's an outside linebacker out of Kansas as well. Jaron Batty out of Illinois is another guy that they are recruiting hard and have a good chance with right now. So there are a few names or a handful of names locally to watch out for. And I think that will, going back to that other video that we did, is a really good thing. I think that the more Nebraska can recruit locally and get quality players into the program that are from around the area, that are more likely on average to stick within the program because you're not going to get as homesick because you're not from as far away. I think the more you can do that, the better.
And we know fans enjoy when local talent stays home. So it's a win-win really for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Well, see, I love this. So again, that question came from Mike Schneider. Again, it's Coach Schneid28 on Twitter. So thank you. Wanted to give him a shout out for that. This is really the point of what we'll do each week. Again, we're going to just answer these questions pretty quickly, 5 to 10 minutes, nothing that should take you too far away from your day, just a little bit of a recruiting update. But if you want more, Greg is going to circle back on this topic in his recruiting notebook tonight. If you are not reading those, they come out on Hail Varsity every Sunday through Thursday at 6 p.m. Central. It's appointment reading. So just go and bookmark it now and follow Greg at Greg Smith HV on Twitter. And you can send questions. Right, Greg? You have no issue if somebody wants to ask a recruiting question.
Send them on in. I'm happy to answer them.
Perfect. So again, if you're watching this, you can leave a comment on this video. We appreciate those of you who had discussions with us last week. You can shoot Greg a question on Twitter. Again, Greg Smith HV. We're also at Hail Varsity on Twitter and pretty much everywhere. But subscribe to this channel. We will be back each Monday with new videos with your questions. And again, Greg will have even more in the recruiting notebook. So Greg, thank you for a little bit of the insight this cold Monday morning. I don't know if it'll be warmer next Monday, but we can hope.
Yeah, we'll just cross our fingers, and it was fun to do it.
I All right, we'll talk to you all later.
Bye.